I said I would make this before, so I'm going to do the Melee top 10 right now. So I will start that now. Don't take this too seriously, but this is just like a rough ballpark of where I think players should be for seedings. So seedings, so rewards, recency, bias, and very slight with legacy to be full accurate. Alright, so first, I'm actually going to tie number 1 and 2. Keep in mind, this is not rankings, this is seedings, which means it rewards recency bias. So, I'm actually going to tie Hungrybox and Mango, and that is because Xbox had a better year, of course, for sure. But over past few months, Mango has done better. Balancing out what a seed might be right now. So I thought about this, and obviously Hungrybox just did better for the whole year. But if your seeding also factors in recency bias, but you don't want to look at that as the only thing. So basically the old stuff counts, but it doesn't count as much. So something that was done in like January would count very slightly compared to something that was just done, which would count even more. But you don't want to erase anything. You just want to count the recent stuff more. So it's kind of an opinion, you know. There were no facts here. It's just an opinion, kind of. So that's why I'm going to balance out the consistency throughout the year of Hungrybox and the recently doing good for Mango, and I'm going to tie the number 1, 2 seeds because I think both are reasonable. This is for seeding a tournament. In the same concept, I'm going to tie Zane and Leffen. Same concept as above. Zane consistently doing well. Well, it's not exact. No, actually, this is not the same concept. I'll rewrite that. Leffen has the 6-0 over Xbox. That's Super Smash Con, which is huge, but has also dropped out of several tournaments. So a small punishment for that, while Zane has, has always been doing good. Is always in good shape. So these two balance each other out. So Zane's consistently doing good, and Zane practices harder and more than everyone. Whereas Leffen has like, kind of like how 2018 I had like that peak win, like with the summit, where I just did amazing, super amazing for that tournament. Leffen has that, which is huge, of course. But then he also dropped out of a bunch of tournaments where Zane has consistently put him out there. Zane has had many opportunities to lose, but he shows consistency despite that. And he's also shown he can beat anyone too. So for seeding, I would say that these two spots are also debatable, in my opinion. Say Axe, probably for 5th. 1 Summit, which is a very big deal. Similar to the peak win of Leffen. Axe winning Summit's a very big deal. The only bad thing is that he can't win. He hasn't shown he's beaten Xbox more than... He beat Xbox like once in 2015, but I don't know if he's beaten him besides that, and I feel like that's a big problem. I mean, it's just, I don't know, because, like, in the meta, you have to be able to beat Xbox or avoid him, so that's kind of a big deal. However, he won Summit, and that's important, so I factor that in too. To be honest, I almost want to tie. Yeah, I'll just continue going. Me. So my results are 5th Big House. Xbox IBBW wins, and dubs, but whatever. EGLX, I beat none, and Xbox almost twice. 1 hit from winning that event. Then DreamHack, I got 2nd. Oh, DreamHack got 2nd. At Big House, I outranked Plup and Wizzy And at EGLX, I also outranked Wizzy, which are both recent events. And the day I beat Nun was the same day that Nun beat Mango and what's it called? And Wizzy. So Nun just got done beating Mango and Wizrobe in a row, and then I fought that version of Nun and beat him on that day/weekend. So that's a notable win. I was basically I beat the good version of Nun. So I feel like it's not just like a bad version of him on that day. And then 8-Spox, I was one hit away. I beat him and was one hit. I was one SD away from winning that tournament. So I almost had 3 wins on 8-Spox that year. So even though I don't have the old stuff, my rankings would be lower, but seeding I should be probably anywhere between 5 to 7. Wizrobe did very good for first half of the year. He still has but huge hiatus of no tournaments for many months. Recently is another factor, and I did better than him by a lot at EGLX Big House, which were recent events. So I want to mention that I think number 5, 6, and 7 are all close for a seed. So even though I tied 1 and 2 and tied 3 and 4 and ranked 5, 6, and 7, I also want to mention that 5, 6, and 7 are all extremely close. And so I think I could be as high as 5 and as low as 7, for example. Like, I think I'm 6 for seeding, but I could be as high as 5th or I could be as low as 7, in my opinion, based on recency. Seeding is not the same as rankings. Rankings takes the entire year, whereas seeding is based on how good you are recently for the based on tournament results recently, in addition to a small factor of legacy, because legacy also shows what you've done throughout your life, so you know if things are more likely to be a fluke or not. No, I haven't fought Mango this year. I've only been to 3 turns, but they're all recent. BBW, been getting very good. Beat Hungrybox solidly at Summit. Close set with me at Big House. Struggles versus Falcons is a huge problem at the moment, since there are 3 top Falcons that attend big tourneys often. Also beat Leffen at Shine 3-2. I think it was 3-2. I'll just say beat him at Shine. I think it was a close 3-2 set, if I remember correctly. So he's been doing very well. Yeah, not much to say. Plup, pretty much focused on Ultimate, and his better results were first half of the year. Obviously, when he focuses on Melee again, he'd rise a lot from this point. The way I view it, me, Plup, and Wizzy are all around, like, when I play Plup and Wizzy, I just feel like we're all, like, around the same level as players. But if you're factoring in recency, most of his best results have been, like, earlier. But it's really just cause, honestly, it's just cause of Ultimate. I really think it just comes down to Ultimate. Wait, is Amstead top 10 right now? I was gonna say Nun and Fiction would be next. Wait, do you think Nun and Fiction should be above or below Amstead? I'm talking like for recency. This is seeding, not rankings. There's a difference. Has Amstead been doing anything in the recent months? Or is he just... Darn, I didn't think about Amstead. Alright, you know what? Screw it. I don't know, so I'm just going to do this for now. So Amster's been... He's beat 8-Spox. Okay. Dumb. Let's go limit. Yes, I'm salty because it's dumb. Hinders Yoshi, but he beat 8-Spox, but I don't know how he'll clutch out game 5s versus Xbox if Xbox really wants to win. Yeah, no, this doesn't matter. I just wanted to type that to not be salty. No. Dude, I'll be honest. I haven't followed AMSA extremely closely. I just know he had close wins with. He had close matches with Xbox, and he 3-0s Mango. AMSA's best trade is he 3-0s. AMSA is like super good versus Mango head to head. None has good, solid recent results, and Fiction has a great super run at Big House, beating me, Plup, Wizzy. So I feel like these are all. Yeah, this is seeding, not rankings. I'm not averaging the year. I'm trying to reward recency more than stuff that was like 11 months ago. This is not the same thing. So yeah, this is a rough idea of like what I think a top 10 should be. So basically, so to reiterate and go over it from the beginning, Hungrybox obviously had the best year, obviously, duh. But Mango has been doing better recently. So if it was only based on only recency and no other factor, and Mango would probably be first. But when you factor in all the other things, then I would say it's very debatable here. Zane and Leffen is another case. Leffen has the really good Super Smash Con, the 6-0 Xbox, but he's also dropped out of a lot of turns where Zane has been throwing himself out there. Had many opportunities to lose, but consistently did well just no matter what, and he's always in good shape too, you know. So I balance those two out. So basically, I think 1, 2 debatable, and 3 and 4 debatable. I actually think 5, 6, and 7 is debatable too. I think I'm 6, but as I said, it's almost like a 3-way tie in a way, but for different reasons. Axe won Summit. He avoided Xbox though, and like I'm not gonna pretend it's not a big deal. It is. Axe avoiding Xbox is the same as Wizzy avoiding Mango, and the reason is because Wizzy's never beaten Mango, and Axe has only beaten Xbox once in his life, and we can't just ignore something that important. Like if you're trying to win a major and or rank high at major, that's obviously important. You can't just pretend that doesn't matter, you know. So he did win Summit while avoiding Xbox. That has to be noted. And Wizzy did win his big events, but it's also noted that he avoided Mango at all of them. Wizzy did beat Plup, but it's also noted that Plup's not in his best form right now, mainly because he's just been focusing on Ultimate. Like I think when he starts focusing back on Melee again in singles, he'll just rise a lot. But he doesn't feel like doing that right now. And for me, I've done well at all 3 turns I've recently attended. I beat Hungrybox. I should have beat Xbox 3 times. If you actually watch all the sets, I beat him twice, and the third set came down to a combination of me SDing into a choking. If that combination didn't happen, I would have had 3 wins on him. I beat IBBW, and I beat None on the same day that None beats Mango and Wizzy. So that was like None's most accomplished day of his life, basically. And I beat that version of him. So it was not like I just beat None on a bad day. So I don't think that's the same. And I got second DreamHack. So I've had solid results recently. So yeah. After this 5, 6, 7 group, IBBW has been doing really good recently. He doesn't have the same legacy factors as other things, and he still struggles versus the 3 Falcon players. But outside of that, he's shown he can beat Leffen. Like he's not favored, but it's obviously winnable. He's one of the people who can beat Hungrybox, and that's also very important. And he's just had solid results all around. Plup, obviously, he's been nerfed from Ultimate. Most of his best results were from the earlier on. Like Plup was beating Zane earlier on, which obviously like Zane won a set this year, but Plup's won the majority of the sets. He hasn't looked as strong as 2018. Like the 2018 Plup was like really, really, really good, but he's really wanted to just focus on doubles with Fox and Ultimate singles. So yeah, that's straightforward. And then I don't know the order of this, but I feel like this group would be around here, like ballpark. I don't know exactly, so I'm just going to list all 3. AMSA, obviously, you know, I think AMSA's strongest trait is his head-to-head against Mango. Mango doesn't really play the Yoshi matchup right. Like, you're supposed to just camp Yoshi, basically, so that Yoshi can't counterattack you. Yoshi can counterattack with, like, parries on the ground and parries in the air, basically, just, like, with the double jump or the shield. But Mango's aggressive, and that doesn't work. But having a good head-to-head on Mango, that's really good. And he's just had solid results. Game 5 only 8 bucks and stuff. Nunn has been doing well recently. He hasn't won the he hasn't like won the big majors, but he's been doing solid. He had a win on Mango and Wizrobe at EGOX, which is notable, and he's been beating S2J the majority of the time. That's pretty big. And in Fiction had his really good run at at Big House, where he beats me and I think he 3-0'd Plup, and then he 3-2'd Wizzy. So, and then he beat IBBW 3-2 last 2. That was the best turn of his life, but probably debatably. And but that still happened, and that was more recent, so that has to be factored in too. S2J would be like an HM right after this, but I feel bad putting HM. I would feel weird putting an HM for 13 when I already tied 10, 11, and 12 DJ. So you know, this is almost the same thing, you know. Like I was only supposed to do 10, but then I didn't know what to do here, so. Anyway, this is just my. I mean, dude, I'm not. This is supposed to be a top 10, so the fact that I already did more than 10, I'm not going to go further than that. That wasn't the whole point. I wasn't even intending that in the first place. Anyway, don't take this exact to heart. I tried to explain my reasoning the best I can, and even if you don't agree with it, I don't think, based on my logic, it's too far from the truth. So this is the best balance. Like, there's going to be disagreements no matter what, but this is the best I can do. Again, this is the Melee top 10, but this is not for ranking. This is for seeding. Like, let's say, like, what I think the seeding should roughly be for, like, a Genesis or something like that, you know? Yeah, and that's my reasoning behind it. So something close to this. So yeah, that's my Melee top 10 seedings.